Hello guys, welcome back. Let's move into our next problem.
This is the question asked in today's skillrack daily challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given the value of integer n, and after that we are given n into 2 integers. So here n is equal to 5, so we are given 10 integers as input. So every 2 integer represents a coordinate. So the first coordinate is 2 2 and the second coordinate is 4 1. So like that every 2 integers represent a coordinate. And after n into 2 integers, we are given 4 integers. So the first 2 integers out of those 4 integers represents the top left coordinate of a rectangle. Similarly, the next 2 integers out of those 4 integers represents the bottom right coordinate of a rectangle. So these two coordinates are diagonally present. So let us see how it is present in a matrix. So here I have taken a 10 cross 10 matrix for visualization. So it represents the row and column. So let us mark our top left coordinate, which is 2 4. So 2 4. So this is the top left coordinate of the rectangle, and the bottom right coordinate is 6 1. So sixth row and first column. So let us mark it in our matrix. So this would be the bottom right coordinate. So these are opposite coordinates. So when we are given opposite coordinates, it will be easy to find the remaining opposite coordinates. So the remaining coordinates will be 2 1 because it is present straightly towards 24 as well as 61. So 2 1 will be another coordinate, and the diagonally opposite coordinate for this would be 6 4. So these are the 4 coordinates of a rectangle, and we are given n coordinates as input. So our task is to count the number of coordinates which are present inside this rectangle. So we have to take every coordinate and we have to check whether it is present inside this rectangle or not. And finally we have to print the number of coordinates which are present inside this rectangle. So let us take our first coordinate. So the first given coordinate is 2 2. So let us mark 2 2. So 2 2 is present here. So it is present in the border of the rectangle. So it is considered to be inside the rectangle. And then the next coordinate is 4 1. So 4 1 is again, it is also present in the border. Still it is considered inside the rectangle. And then the third coordinate is 1 3. So now we can see that the coordinate 1 3 is present outside the rectangle. The 4 red color are the borders, but 1 3 is present beyond that. So 1 3 is not considered. So we move to the next coordinate 4 3, and again the coordinate 4 3 is present inside our rectangle, and the next coordinate was 7 2. So here we can see that the 7 2 was present outside because it is outside the borders of the rectangle. So out of the given 5 coordinates, we were able to position 3 coordinates inside our rectangle. So totally 3 coordinates are present inside the rectangle. So we have to print 3 as our output. So in our expected output also we can see that we are printing 3 because 3 coordinates are present inside the rectangle. So now let us see how to write a C program. So first I am creating a new integer n, and in the next line I am accepting the value of the n. So we will be given n coordinates. Every coordinate will contain 2 integers. So I am creating a new integer array named arr of size n into 2, and then using a for loop I am accepting the n into 2 integers and storing it into the array arr. And after that we are given 4 integers. So I am creating 4 more integer variables to accept them: r1, c1, r2 and c2. So r1 and c1 represents the top left coordinate of the rectangle, and r2 c2 represent the bottom right coordinate of the rectangle. So using scanf statement I am accepting the values of r1, c1, r2 and c2. And now we are not going to calculate the remaining 2 coordinates of the rectangle and check whether every coordinate of the given n coordinate is present within the rectangle or not. Instead we are already given 2 coordinates, that is top left and bottom right, which is more than enough. So the top left coordinate will contain a row and column, and the bottom right will contain the row and column. So we have 2 rows and 2 columns. our task is to just calculate the minimum and maximum rows and columns out of those, and with those values we can check whether every coordinate is present in the range or not. So I am creating 4 integer variables. So the first variable is minimum row, and if r1 is greater than r2, then the minimum will be r2. So if r1 greater than r2, then I assign min row as r2, else I assign min row is equal to r1. So here I have assigned using the ternary operator. So similarly we have to calculate the maximum row, minimum column and maximum column with the values of r1 c1 and r2 c2. So finally in the variables minimum row, minimum column and maximum column have our range in which the rectangle is present. So now we have to count the number of coordinates. So I am creating a variable named count and I am setting it to 0, and I am going to take every coordinate and check whether it is present inside the rectangle or not. So I am creating a loop that iterates through the array, and in every iteration the value of I is incremented by 2, because in every iteration we take the value of I and I plus 1. So I am storing ARR of I inside the row and ARR of I plus 1 inside the column. So now we know the row and column of the coordinate, and if that row and column is present within the range, that then we have to count. So if row is greater than or equal to minimum row and less than or equal to maximum row, similarly the column must be greater than or equal to minimum column and less than or equal to maximum column. If all of these 4 conditions are satisfied, then the particular coordinate will be present inside the rectangle. So whenever this condition is satisfied, I am incrementing the count variable. So finally we print the value of count, which will be the number of coordinates which is present inside the rectangle. So this is the logic. Thank you for watching.